Hello everybody, how are you all doing this wonderful weekend? Well, it's the weekend when I'm recording this anyway. Darko3 here with, well, first rant video that hasn't been recorded on a stream in a while. And I'm going to get into it. It's all about the Guardian games 2022 that we are currently in full swing in Destiny 2. And how, to an extent, Bungie themselves have really dropped the ball. And I don't think, one, did they playtest this? And two, how out of touch with your community do you have to be to realise that this wasn't going to be a problem? So, I don't think it's unfair to say that currently the Guardian games are a shit show. Now, if Warlocks don't win, I'll eat my hat. Because I'm pretty sure that Titan's winning first time round, Hunter's winning second time round. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Warlocks win third time round. And once they get to 10, is it 10 wins? I think once they get to 10 wins, they're pretty much guaranteed to carry on. So that's that. I guess it's only fair that Warlocks win, considering Titans and Hunters have won before. But there is an extra part currently in... Well, there's 3 extra parts, if we think about it. One is we get bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Not rewards, they're like tiers. They're like a flame and an effect you can get on your left shoulder. And then you also get bronze, silver, gold, and platinum scores for the competitive strike, I guess it is, which is basically a Nightfall strike. And that gives you an icon over your right shoulder. And then when you're in the towers, depending on your score and how good you are, that will give you a glow all the way around yourself that has so much bloom that people will be able to see you from orbit. And whether you like it or not, you will step into a war with the Cabal on Mars and they will be able to nuke you. But those are 2 of the new things. But the third new thing is that we have access to top 10% of people in each week. So all 3 weeks you have to get top 10% score in the competitive scoring playlist, which is essentially the Nightfall. Now, that's all well and good. However, this current one is the Lightblade. And Lightblade is arguably one of the most infuriating and needlessly difficult Nightfalls we have ever encountered in Destiny 2. Now, anyone who's played the Grandmaster of the Lightblade will understand where I'm coming from in this. It was by far the most difficult Grandmaster we have ever done, purely because of the acute arc burn, where we get plus 25% and they get plus 50%. The enemies get plus 50%, and that's all well and good. But if you're using an arc subclass, I wouldn't bother. You really need to be using a defensive subclass, especially if you're a Titan. So I've been running Void for all of this, including with the arc burn in the Guardian games. Now, ignoring the difficulty of Lightblade and how needlessly difficult it is just purely because of the arc burn and how much generates arc, as well as the Hive Guardians, the Lucent Hive, the ones that have the abilities and how quickly they can kill you or one-shot you. The issue we're facing is this top 10% scoring is wildly exaggerated. My highest score at the moment, with a couple randies and not really try-harding, is about 228,000 points. And that puts me 50,000 points above the platinum score threshold, which is 175,000. But that only puts me... Well, last night, it only put me... This is on Friday night. This is the day it went live. That put me in the top 20% of players. And apparently, the threshold for 10% has been going up and up and up and up and up, because people have been abusing respawning enemies that, for some reason, still give points. And no other strike, as far as I'm aware, has enemies that constantly respawn that still give you points. They are all in 0-point scoring areas. But the Lightblade doesn't have that. The Lightblade has a room which gives you Weight of Darkness, which makes you walk really slowly, but you can go next to... It's basically the Crota encounter from Destiny 1, where you go along and you want to cleanse yourself of his debuffs, allow you to move a bit quicker and get to the next one, and then cleanse yourself again and defend the point. But in this area, Screebs constantly respawn, and they give points. You've also now got the strike scoring that's back. So not only do you get points for killing the Screebs, strike scoring now has tons of medals which give you increased points as well. One of those medals is to revive 2 people quickly. So people have been abusing that fact with dying, the 2 of their people dying, and 1 person reviving them both and generating that medal, and they go and die again, and they revive them and get that medal again, and this medal's worth a fair amount of points. And another thing you can do is the Lucent Hive, or the Hive Guardians, once you've killed them, they drop their ghost shell, and if you don't crush their ghost quick enough, they revive. However, if you kill a Hive Guardian again, you get points for killing them again. So what people have been doing is, because there's also a medal which, if you emote before you do a finisher, that's a medal, and that's also worth a fair number of points. So even if you play it legit and you do all the emotes before finishing and you revive people when they die once or twice, and you get all of these rampaging medals where you get tons of energy weapon kills one after the other, or you get tons of SMG kills, like 40 or whatever SMG kills without dying, that's a medal. And I think it goes like 10, 20, 40 or what have you. And it's the same for all of the weapon archetypes. Do loads of damage with abilities, do loads of damage with guns. All of these things generate medals. But the ones people are abusing are the ones to revive people and the ones to do the emote finishing. Now, this has caused an issue where people who are playing legit and not cheesing will never, in a million years, get to the top 10%. Which means, from Lightblade, as far as I'm aware, it's the only one, and we're going to be changing strikes for weeks 2 and weeks 3, I believe. I wouldn't quote me on that, but it would make no sense for us to just have Lightblade, Lightblade, Lightblade. So, 2nd and 3rd weeks, I get the feeling that it's going to be a lot more difficult to cheese the score, and it's going to result in players with legit skill and legit tactics actually generating the top 10% of scores. And I believe that the group I game with will be able to do that. But the current situation means, even if we get the top 10% in week 2 and in week 3, and if the wording is correct, or if my interpretation of the wording is correct, that means that anyone who wants to try and get that 10% emblem will be unable to, unless they somehow cheese the ever-living crap out of it this weekend, and are then good enough to carry on with it weeks 2 and week 3. Now, the issue here, well, that is an issue, to be quite honest with you. That's a huge issue, and it kind of negates the point of doing this activity if you want that top 10%, because it doesn't reward skill, it's rewarding cheese. Now, a couple things that Bungie could do here to mitigate this is they could release a hotfix and make it so that that Screeb room only is a 0 multiplier, so you don't generate points in there. That causes a couple issues, because that's a good room to get some points in when you're going for a legit run. You can't remove or you could remove the revive medals, and that will remove one cheese aspect of it. And frankly, if 2 people are constantly dying, I reckon there should be a punishment for that, not a reward for that. So I would honestly have no problems with them removing the Revive Guardians medal. Also, you could make it so that once you've defeated a Hive Guardian once and not finished it, so you get the reward for doing the killing the Hive Guardian, and you get the reward for killing the ghost. What you should do is probably only get the reward for killing the Hive Guardian once. So it like flicks the switch in the code and goes, cool, this Hive Guardian has been defeated before, therefore we will generate no points from it. So those are 3 things that Bungie could probably do to do it. However, once they do that, they'll need to reset everyone's scores. There's no doubt here that if they implement a hotfix like that, they will have no choice but to reset everyone's scores, because at that point you will not be able to get 700,000 points, which is what's rumoured to be the upper end people have achieved so far. You will not be able to get 700,000 points legit doing it that way, which means that if you don't reset everyone's scores, everyone's top score, but that just means that the people who are at 700,000 are at 700,000 and they've won this week, and no one can physically get there, and that would mean that the reward of being the top 10% is meaningless. It doesn't reward skill at all. The other alternative is Bungie will just come out and say, well, we've realised things have been going wrong this week, so we're just going to make it so that everyone counts as the top 10% in the first week, and that's as far as we're going to get. We're going to say everyone in the first week has been given their top 10%, and then we'll make it so the weeks 2 and 3 count. We'll count to week 1 as a practice run. We learnt some things, you guys learnt some things, we'll go over it like that. But that's the thing. This entire run, and this is part of what makes it a shit show. It's a hell of a grind. You just grind and you grind and you grind and you play playlist activities. You know, like, but I'm bored playing playlist activities. No, carry on playing playlist activities. You'll get some bronze medals for doing those. Now, to use your laurels that you've been collecting and buy some more things that will give you gold and platinum medals, and then go and deposit those, and then maybe if you're lucky you'll get a title, but it'll probably be a crap roll title. So then do the grind some more and keep doing that, and if you're lucky you may get a title, but it'll probably be shit roll again. And that's the only real reward we're going for this season. Is you've got a new shader, you've got a new ship, and you've got a new SMG archetype, which is called the title. And the weapon itself is pretty good. I've played with it a little bit, and I quite like how the new SMG plays. But at the moment, the entirety of Guardian games is a shit show in the level of grinding you have to do, and how out of the feel of the event this scoring is. And again, Warlocks are going to win, I can guarantee you. So, I'm not sure what Bungie's options are here. Regardless of what they do, this 10%, top 10% reward is very much going to be seen by the community as anyone who got that didn't take part in the activity fairly, and therefore we should just look down on anyone who's using their emblem. And I like to collect stuff, I like having loads of things, and I would like to have this emblem. But with the way it is at the moment, I am not spending all this time with the guys I usually play with, having them die over and over and reviving them and having to cheese my way through the entire thing. I don't like cheese. I like doing things as close to legit as we can, unless, without using the cheese, the activity is basically unplayable. Which is a shame, because I really do appreciate the well put together encounters and the well put together activities that you do see in Destiny 2 when Bungie do put them in. There are some cases where they've obviously not playtested it, and the player base is sitting there going, what the hell? And you basically have no choice but to cheese. But when I get to do some interesting content legitimately, I do feel pretty... Well, it makes me, as a Guardian, feel powerful. If I'm doing a 3-man activity solo, which, you know, the dungeons and some of the story missions, or the special story missions that you can do, which usually are done as a 3-man, you can do as a solo. I feel powerful doing those solo, especially if you can do them solo flawless. So I enjoy that, but I'm not enjoying this whole cheese to get the top 700,000 score and then make it so that anyone who does it actually legit just gets punished, because if they're playing with skill and you're playing with cheese, the cheese typically wins out, which is a shame. But that's my thoughts on that. I know some people quite early on in the activity were also complaining that it seems very PvE oriented, forgetting that previous Guardian games they've had a focus each day and they've switched. So the first day was, of course, PvE. It was Vanguard Strikes. Second day it was Gambit. Third day it was Crucible. So it does switch around. So if you have a focus that you'd rather do, where you want to get more laurels, and that's basically all you get, more laurels. And after a certain point, the laurels are useless. I am doing singular basic strikes on the playlist, the Guardian Games playlist, and using Void and the amount of damage and explosions I can generate so many laurels that I don't ever run out. And I can't physically spend all the laurels I get in one run, even if I buy a 200 laurel quest and I buy 5 30 laurel bounties, that's still 350 laurels, which I can easily generate in the time it takes me to complete that mission. So, or complete that quest. So that it's kind of like I feel they've got the laurel economy mixed up, and they should probably make it so that you can get more things with laurels. Whether they will, I'm not sure, but I've basically already got all of the triumphs as well, and I'm pretty much resigning myself to not being able to get this last one, which, as a sort of completionist in this sort of thing, I'm kind of annoyed that I won't be able to get it. But with the stigma that this is actually attracting, I'm kind of glad that I probably won't get it. But so I know some people were complaining about the whole PvE aspect of it and forgetting the rest. But other arguments, I think a lot of what I've addressed in this video, I think a fair few people will agree that I understand where Bungie were going with the changes they made this Guardian games. However, I don't believe they went the right direction or implemented it in the correct way, which is a shame. But that's my thoughts. I know a few others probably have the same feeling. I know some of you probably don't have the same feeling, and I know that a lot of people on the Destiny the Game subreddit, if I say something about hunters, you better believe I'm going to get downvoted, especially, you know, the most the class which has the biggest persecution complex by far, hunters. Say anything bad about them, or no, they don't like to hear that, because they're the worst class in the game, regardless of the fact that you see them in all top level PvP. But that's a video for another day, my dislike of hunters. But I'm a Titan main, so, you know, I'm playing the top skill class rather than the easy mode classes. That's me. But yeah, those are my opinions. That's my thoughts on the matter. I would like to do some more videos like this, some more ranty videos again. I want to try and get the content going. Even if I can't live stream them, finding a moment to record a video like this can be quite cathartic. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. If you are new here, please do click that subscribe button, click that bell. It does let you know when I go live. If you would like to see my live streams, you can check them out. Twitch.tv/DarkEye3, same as this channel here. You can also find clips from these, or from my live streams over on my clips channel, DarkEye3 Clips. It should be in my interesting people in the box on my page, and it will also be linked in the description box of this video. You can find me on Twitter @DarkEye3. Go check me out. I tend to post nothing, really. If you like stupid comments and stuff like that, go check me out. But otherwise, you're probably better off sticking around here on Twitch. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a very good evening, morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you may be. And I will see you all again in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.